Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Ragic Office Hour. And let's start by doing a recap on our latest features. Okay, today we will do a recap on a feature that's pretty cool. We can use the new Ragic AI feature to enter a new record. Okay, so let's say if you have some PDF files that you would like to import to Ragic and create a record out of it. Let's say we have a file like this. I generated this from the sheet here. Okay, this is an inventory transfer information. So this is inventory transfer. So if we have a sheet like this for inventory transfer, and we happen to have a PDF file that looks like this, the file doesn't need to look like exactly like the original form. It's just that it's easier for me to generate a sample this way because I just come here and download a PDF of this form. But the format doesn't really matter because the form is read by AI. So the AI will be able to understand the content of this form, and based on its basic layout, it will be able to map the data on this PDF file to the form that you're currently creating, that you're trying to create a new record on. Okay, so how do we do this? We just either way, if you're on the listing page or you're on the form page, you just click on the AI feature right here. This is this button here, the AI button, and you can do a data entry. You just upload a file and create a record. And by creating a record, it's creating a record on the sheet that you're currently on, no matter if you're on the listing page or the form page. So if you click data entry and you choose a file, and that was the file I just showed you that's describing an inventory transfer. So yeah, AI will be able to read the content of the file and create a record just like that to this inventory transfer sheet. So basically, you can have any type of format of PDF file, and it can even be maybe handwritten because this is detected by OCR, but generally it will be it will work a lot better if the text is printed, because those printed text, it's a lot easier for AI to identify the content. So after AI has been able to identify its content, it's gonna create a record on the sheet that you're on. Okay, and this is pretty handy if you have a lot of files that you do a lot of manual data entry based on PDF files that maybe your customer or your vendors or your partners sent you, and you will be able to save a lot of time doing data entry by manually reading the PDF file and entering the data. But still, I would recommend that when you're doing this, you should still have an extra step to check if the content is correct, because this is still an AI feature, and it's because the data is read by AI, and there's still a realistic chance that the data is incorrect. So, and it might misinterpret some of the data. It might read some of the data as not really correct. So you should use it as a tool to speed up your data entry. But for each field, you should still kind of check if each of those fields are correct. So, but checking it still saves a lot of time for actually and doing the data entry, manual data entry. And still, if you're doing manual data entry, there's still chance for error, and you still should check for errors on manual data entries. Okay. And I welcome everyone to, if you're using the system, to import any to do manual data entry based on any of the Excel files, PDF files. You should check this out. You just click the AI button here, and you will be able to test out the data entry feature right here. Okay, and let's get back to the questions. Okay, first question. Admin's note for a field. Jeff, please add an extra field under design mode for admin's note. Sometimes it's tough to remember what's the purpose of the field's existence, who asks for that, and what's it actually doing. It should also make development much easier if there are a few admins who can make notes for each other. Ideal if it would be possible to put image onto those notes as well. I'm guessing that you're not referring to these fields. I think you're referring to things in the design mode, like you're referring to adding a field here or somewhere else to add notes to the design mode. So yeah, I think this could be a good idea, and it would be a matter of design choice, like if we should add stuff that only appears on the design mode. But if you could add hidden fields on the design mode, so I'm guessing that you would like to add like maybe a comment, or maybe some hidden comments for other form designers to understand that what this field is doing, maybe in the other section. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. So basically what he's asking for is if we can find a place for form designers to add notes, maybe mental notes for self, for future references, maybe for his colleagues and teammates, to understand why he added this field, or why he written the formula of this field this way. So yeah, I think we should be able to do something like this. And we have heard this idea before, and we didn't really still have a good design for this, but I think we should look into designing this kind of admin comment support feature. And this should not be too complicated. Just a matter of if we find a good design for this. Okay, next one. No question. All right. And next one. Label printing using Ragic. I've been trying to use Ragic for real-time label printing using Bluetooth USB label printers. Okay, I was able to design the desirable label format with a QR code using custom print report feature, but I'm facing the following challenges. Usually when you're printing with printing labels, we would recommend you look into the label report first, the label maker first. So yeah, I think you should look into the label maker first. because this is for mass printing different fields, and you can add barcode fields here to make it display as barcode, and you will have more control over the size and the margin for this. Okay, and let's continue with the question. First of all, low QR code resolution. Okay. I'm not exactly sure why the QR code resolution would be low on the custom print reports, but I will definitely look into this because I don't see any reason that the QR code would be embedded to the custom print report in a low resolution manner. So yeah, I will do a follow-up on this, but it will be useful if you could provide us with the current custom print report that you're using. So maybe the custom print report template might be part of the reason that it's low resolution. So maybe it's how it's configured on the template. I'm not sure, but it depends on your actual template. And next one, slow PDF generation and manual download. Custom print report takes time to generate. I have to manually download PDF each time before printing. Is there a way to directly open the print report in browser for quick printing without downloading? I don't think there's a way to do that, technically. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I don't think browsers can directly print without downloading or even doing anything in the background and access your printer to print it. I don't think you can do that. If you want to generate them faster by batch, you can look into the custom print report that we just mentioned, the label maker report that we just mentioned. But yeah, you have to download it each. If you have to download the PDF each time before printing, then for now I don't see any easy way around this, because it's a security restriction of the browser that we cannot access the printer directly and ask your printer to print anything. No support on mobile app. This is coming really soon. We will soon be able to print from the mobile app. So stay tuned. This will be supported soon. No bulk printing support. Yeah, printing multiple entry at once. I think there's a chance that we will be able to support bulk printing by printing a bunch of records and creating one big PDF for a whole bunch of records. I think we have something in our development pipeline so that you can print a large custom print report from the listing page. Like if you have 100 records, and we should be able to, and each record would generate a one-page PDF file, and we should be able to support, at least in the future, that you can print one 100-page PDF file that has all the 100 records custom print report output. Okay, so this is something that should be able to support in the future. So okay, so you also try using the label maker feature, but it doesn't meet my need due to the following reason. It doesn't support custom page like. Okay, so that's why you need a custom print report. You need a custom page like 2 by 3, 4 by 6 inches. The PDF generated include website graphics. Isn't clean. Only the label data should be present. I thought you should be able to print it only with the, because if you download, like if you have a printer friendly, oh okay, you still have this. Interesting. What about the download as PDF? Yeah, because for most reports, you would still like a data source or a header, but for PDF for label makers, I guess it's different. We should do something about this so that it only prints out, it should omit this section, because I don't think for any reason that label makers still need a header. Yeah, that's a good point. I will provide this feedback to our developers, because their header is for a general. Most of all the reports have headers, so I do think that the label maker should have the header skipped. Okay, all right, and thank you for your feedback. Let me summarize this. So first of all, low resolution. I will look into this and find the cause of low resolution QR code. It would be useful if you can provide us with the custom print report template that you are using. Secondly, slow generation, manual download. Yeah, and we will be supporting batch generation into one large custom print report. Large PDF file in the near future. It will be easier to print lots of reports this way. And no support mobile app. Mobile app support is coming soon. Next one. Okay, the label maker, and good point. For the label maker report, we will consider removing the report headers on the report when outputting printer format. Okay. But for custom page sizes, that will be more difficult. And if you're really doing custom page sizes, then yes, custom print report might be a better choice. Okay, I think most of these could be alleviated or supported. So yeah, thank you for your feedback. Into this. Okay, next question. Field level access for web form. Hi Jeff, just a quick question to make sure. I've tested it and it seems to work fine. I want to double check that this is how it's supposed to work and there's no risk of any data leaking. I set one field to no rights for everyone, and other fields are used for web form and data collection. From what I understand, the field with no rights for everyone shouldn't show up on the web form I'm sharing with people who access it without logging in, right? Yeah, that's correct. That's the correct way to use this. That's what I'm seeing when I test it, but I want to make sure before I share the form. I only want the field to be accessible to me in my own database. Yeah, I think there shouldn't be any problem with your configuration. We can do a quick test right here. Like we have an employee form here, and let's say I think I have configured it to be, the access right is for everyone as viewers, so everyone will be able to access it if I share it as and maybe an embedded sheet. So if I go to a database viewer right here, and we can have a version here, or using the QR code to share this form with other users. So if I open an incognito mode, then we should be the user should be able to see the data on this form without logging in. Okay, so if we were to add a field level access, let's say we want to hide the age of the employee, and we could just go into everyone and have it configured as no rights. Okay, so this will basically hide the age for everyone with only everyone access and no other access levels. So we save it and we go back to the original form that we're sharing right here, and oops. Let me double check. Everyone no rights from access. Everyone viewer. I think because this, when the user access this, it's already has already read this, and this should be cached, I think. So let's open a different incognito window, and we go into this field and this record, and and if you go into this sheet again, and after for a new user, because this user hasn't read this yet. If the user has read the record with all the fields, it might have a cached version of that record. But if a fresh user comes into the form and try to access this record, and this will be hidden by the field level access rights. Okay, so just a short demo on how this is supposed to work. So yeah. Yes. If you hide the field with field access right setting, configuration, setting everyone to no rights, and people who has not logged in will not have access to that field. You can always use an incognito tab, or like private tab, to test out URLs that you want to share, to make sure it has the correct access right configurations. Okay. Yeah, and this is basically correct. And a good trick would be to open an incognito mode. Oh, and you can open an incognito window here. Like I use the hotkey, but you can always find the incognito window here. And I'm using the Chrome browser. And there are incognito windows for Safari, Firefox, and Edge, and most other browsers. All right, and that's it for the questions for today. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to use the office hour question sheet right here to ask your questions. And I will be answering your questions in 2 weeks. So thank you for joining in, and goodbye and take care. Bye.